You are about to spend serious money on a pickup truck. 70, 80, sometimes $90,000 for a vehicle you expect to work hard for the next 15 years. And the manufacturers are counting on you to walk into that dealership, sign the paperwork, and never ask the questions I'm about to answer. Because here's the reality, the modern pickup truck is more complicated, more fragile, and more expensive to repair than at any other point in history. And the data backs that up. Industry reliability studies tracking problems per 100 vehicles have shown a significant spike in complaints over the past several years. The number one cause isn't mechanical wear, it's deliberate design decisions, made in boardrooms, not workshops. I've spent years studying automotive reliability data, talking to mechanics, pulling apart service bulletins, and following active legal proceedings against major manufacturers. What I'm about to walk you through are the 5 biggest reasons new trucks are failing, counting down from number 5 to number 1. Because by the time we get there, you'll understand why thousands of owners are furious and why some of them are now in court. Let's get into it. Number 5, they've engineered you out of your own truck. 20 years ago, a problem with your ute meant a trip to your local mechanic, 30 minutes on the hoist, and you were back on the road the same afternoon. That world is gone. Today's trucks are rolling computer networks. Dozens of electronic control modules, hundreds of sensors, proprietary software systems, all talking to a central brain. And that brain belongs to the manufacturer, not to you. Basic repairs, replacing a battery, fitting an aftermarket part, resetting a system after routine servicing, can now require factory-level software that only authorized dealerships have access to. Independent workshops are fighting legislative battles right now for the right to access basic diagnostic data on vehicles their customers own outright. This is not an accident. A truck owner who can fix their vehicle cheaply at an independent shop keeps that truck for 15 years. A truck owner who faces a $1,000 dealership bill every time something minor goes wrong is far more likely to trade in early. And when you trade in early, the manufacturer sells another $80,000 vehicle. Follow the money. Number 4, plastic where metal should be, and they're calling it innovation. Open the bonnet on a truck from the late 90s or early 2000s. Cast iron, forged steel, thick aluminium, components built to handle temperature extremes, corrugated dirt roads, and genuine hard work. Now open the bonnet on a current model year pickup. You'll find high temperature polymer in places that would make an old school mechanic uncomfortable. Intake manifolds, oil pans, coolant housings, components that live in an environment of constant heat cycles and mechanical stress, now made from engineered plastic. The marketing language is clever. Weight savings, improved efficiency. But here's the real world problem. Plastic expands and contracts with every heat cycle. Every cold start in winter, every long run in summer heat, those are thermal cycles. And every one of them stresses a plastic component in a way it would never stress a metal one. Over years and tens of thousands of cycles, those stresses accumulate. When a plastic intake manifold cracks or a plastic oil pan fractures after a stone strike on a dirt road, you're not bending metal you can work with, you're replacing components. Mechanics working on higher mileage modern trucks are reporting cracked plastic engine components on vehicles with less than 150,000 kilometers. Trucks that should have a decade of work ahead of them. Number 3, cylinder deactivation is destroying engines from the inside. This is where it gets serious, so pay attention. To hit fuel efficiency targets, major truck manufacturers introduce cylinder deactivation, a system designed to shut down half the engine cylinders under light load like highway cruising to reduce fuel consumption. In theory elegant, 8 cylinders when you need power, 4 when you're cruising. In practice, it has become one of the most expensive reliability failures in modern truck history. Here's the mechanical reality. The system works through specially designed valve lifters that collapse on command to disable a cylinder. These lifters cycle between active and inactive states thousands of times over a single drive. They rely on precise, consistent oil pressure to function correctly. When they fail, and they are failing in large numbers, the consequences are severe. A collapsed lifter doesn't just stop working. It disintegrates inside the engine. Fragments travel through the oiling system, scoring the camshaft, contaminating the oil, causing cascading damage. By the time you hear that distinctive tapping sound owners describe, significant internal damage has often already occurred. Repair bills run into the thousands, sometimes well into 5 figures for a complete rebuild, on a vehicle that may be 5 or 6 years old and still under finance. And this is not a fringe problem. The aftermarket has responded by producing deletion kits, components designed specifically to remove the cylinder deactivation system entirely and replace it with conventional lifters. An entire segment of the aftermarket exists to remove a factory-fitted feature because that feature destroys engines. Number 2. The warranty fine print is written to protect the manufacturer, not you. Most people buying a new truck feel protected by the factory warranty. 3 years, 5 years, sometimes longer. It sounds comprehensive. It isn't. Manufacturer warranties are written by legal teams whose objective is to minimize financial exposure. They contain exclusions and conditions that most owners don't fully understand until the moment they need to make a claim. Servicing requirements are 1. To maintain warranty entitlement, you often need to follow the manufacturer's exact service schedule using approved fluids, in many cases at an authorized dealer. Service your vehicle at a quality independent shop, and you may find yourself in a dispute the moment something goes wrong. Modifications are another. In the Australian context, where bull bars, lift kits and winches are standard fitments on working vehicles, manufacturers can argue a modification contributed to a fault, even when that argument is a stretch. And then there's the wear and tear argument. When a component fails earlier than it should, manufacturers will sometimes classify it as wear rather than defect, shifting the cost to you. The burden of proving otherwise often means legal advice and consumer tribunal action. Here's what most owners don't know. Australian consumer law provides guarantees around acceptable quality that exist independently of whatever the warranty booklet says. A major failure on a relatively new vehicle may be a consumer guarantee issue, regardless of the warranty terms. Manufacturers aren't going to volunteer that information, but it's worth knowing. Number 1, there is active legal action against a major manufacturer over engine failures affecting potentially hundreds of thousands of vehicles. Everything we've discussed leads here. A class action lawsuit, active in the United States federal courts, covers certain General Motors vehicles produced from 2014 through to recent model years. The affected vehicles include the Chevrolet Silverado, GMC Sierra, Tahoe, Yukon and Cadillac Escalade, specifically those fitted with the 5.3, 6.0 or 6.2 litre V8 engines equipped with the active fuel management cylinder deactivation system. The lawsuit alleges that General Motors knew the active fuel management system was prone to premature and catastrophic failure, that this defect was not disclosed to consumers at point of sale, and that the company's response, a series of technical service bulletins and selective warranty extensions, was insufficient given the scale of the problem. The number of potentially affected vehicles is not small. We're talking about some of the best-selling trucks and SUVs in North America over more than a decade. Purchased by working people, small business owners, farmers and tradies who depended on these vehicles, financed these vehicles, and are now facing repair bills that in some cases exceed their remaining loan balance. This legal action is based in the US, but the technology is global. Versions of cylinder deactivation have been fitted to vehicles sold in Australia and around the world. The failure mechanism does not change based on where the vehicle was sold. What this tells us at the most fundamental level is this. A major manufacturer fitted a fuel-saving system to millions of vehicles. That system has a documented tendency to cause expensive internal engine failure. The manufacturer has been aware of it for years, and the standard consumer remedy has not fully protected owners from the financial consequences. That is not a quirk. That is a structural problem with how the modern truck industry operates. So where does that leave you? It leaves you with a choice, and a clear-eyed one. Know which engines have documented failure patterns before you sign anything. Know your rights under Australian consumer law, not just the warranty booklet. Know whether the vehicle you're considering runs a cylinder deactivation system and research its reliability history thoroughly. And consider the used market seriously. Not any used truck, but specific model years that represent modern safety technology combined with simpler, proven drivetrains. There are trucks with 300,000 kilometers on them that have never had a major engine repair. They exist, they're identifiable, and in the next video I'm walking you through exactly which ones they are and what years to target. Subscribe and turn notifications on so you don't miss that one. It might be the most useful thing you watch before your next vehicle purchase. I'm your Aussie car expert. See you in the next one.